California Department of Corrections, aka Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, the most expensive prison system in America. Once upon a time, the most overcrowded prison system until the feds had to step in. Here we have a picture of a SHU. This is what we call a pod raid. All the cops come in, get in front of every cell, strip you out, and tear your cell down. Look at this place. White walls, white bars, made to drive you crazy, made to drive men crazy. And this is a cell. This is where you sit until you died, up until recently after the hunger strikes, where things were changed, but yet still the same. That's the SHU. That's the yard in the SHU, excuse me. That's what you see when you go to yard. All psychological warfare. So what's cracking, everybody? You saw the intro. You see what this video is about, to an extent. But I want to go into, I keep hearing how blacks and raza can't talk to each other. If you believe what they say, can't even breathe the same air, right? And so I wanted to talk about the SHU, okay? Because I think it's pretty damn clear to me that those people who keep talking this propaganda, they've never been to the SHU. Not Pelican Bay SHU, maybe Corcoran SHU. And we used to tell people that have been to Corcoran SHU compared to Pelican Bay SHU. Corcoran SHU was, I'd say, was nothing even close to what Pelican Bay was. Pelican Bay was built specifically to break men, period. It was complete psychological warfare, 24/7, nonstop. It was deprivation at its finest, and that's why the SHU has basically been shut down, right? I remember, and I'll say his name again. Shout out to Bambari. I'm not going to say where he's from. His people got at me, showed me love. I appreciate that. Thank you guys very much. But I want to make it clear. Bambari was one of the legends for the blacks. And I want to say again, I had went to the law library one day and I was talking to one of the legends. And he told me, hey, you're over there with that Bato Bambari, right? And I said, yeah. He said, that's a really good dude, eh? If he ever needs anything, make sure he gets that. But see, people that get their history lessons from Hollywood, people that get their history lessons from dudes that did a lot of level 3 time, level 2 time, maybe level 4, but never did nothing. They say they did something, but they were never in the SHU. Definitely never in Pelican Bay. Then they don't understand. Pelican Bay SHU was the headquarters for all of the Big Four. That's where they all were. And there was an understanding up there that was so different than any other prison in California. And unless you were there, you didn't experience it. You didn't get to see it. And that's why you can't comprehend when those of us that speak of wanting to see something positive come out of this, YouTube stuff, and us being able to reach out to different communities, you won't understand that, in a sense, we saw that. In the most brutal environment that California has to offer, we saw that. And I'm going to give you another example. In the SHU, whenever people would make a batch of wine, they would usually, if they had enough, they would offer everybody in the pod at least 1 cup. Everybody. Didn't matter if you were raza from up north, raza from down south, white or black. You were offered a cup. There were times where they would throw little bolos, right? Little parties. And they would make enough for everybody in the pod to party together, right? And during those times, a lot of times what would happen is everybody would, get their sip on, everybody's chopping it up, having a good time, and then there would come a moment where it would be every cell would sing a song. I don't know if Bambari is able to see this. I hope he is. I hope he's able to see this. And if he is, he's going to remember this. This happened in C4. And I remember the whole pod was partying. I don't drink. I drink now, but I didn't drink in prison. I had no vices in prison. Purposely, right? But I remember everybody was drinking. I want to say it was Cinco de Mayo. And I want to say it was Cinco de Mayo of 97. Somewhere around there, right? And every cell was singing a song. And when it came to Bambari's cell, Bambari, who again is a legend for the blacks, one of the legends for them, okay? And it got to his cell and he had been drinking with all the raza in there, right? And there was also legends for the whites. Everybody was drinking. Everybody that drank was drinking. And when it got to Bambari's cell, Bambari said, I ain't singing no damn song, but I will say this. And again, if he's able to watch this, he can tell the people that are near him. He can tell the people that he communicates with whether or not this is true. He said, I'm not singing no damn song, but I will say this. He said, Viva la raza, viva Mexica. And, this is why, when I hear these dudes get on these channels and they talk about as if they know at the highest level of what's going on in prison, they act like they know what them dudes are doing. They act like they know what happened in the SHU. The SHU was again, it was complete deprivation. It was an attempt, a very vicious attempt to break men, to break those organizations that we don't speak of, at least on my channel, we don't speak of, we don't mention the names. And so even though there was that, for a while there was, if the doors popped, was that thing, but then people understood, hey, these people are trying to break us and then they're trying to set us up and then force us to go out there so that they can kill us. We may not have a chance to kill each other, but they definitely will kill one of us. And then it was understood where if the doors crack, you step out, acknowledge the person. That way if they want it, they can get it. But everybody understood, we're suffering. And most of those men were in the SHU, had went from San Quentin, Old Folsom, Corcoran to the Bay, and hadn't had an act of violence in 20 years, 15 years, 10 years. But yet we're still suffering. We're still being punished. So to fall into the trap of the administration would just give the administration the upper hand, right? So I just wanted to make sure that I put this out there. And like I said before, when you would go to store in the SHU, or you would get a package in the SHU, it was different than on the main line. When you were on the main line and you got a package, you went to store, you made sure you looked out for whoever your people were at your ranfla, that you knew, okay, this vato didn't go to store, let me hook him up something. And the SHU was completely different. In the SHU it was, if there was a vato in that pod that you were in that didn't make it to store and he was cool, everybody that went to store dropped a bag off to him. And a lot of times, the guy that didn't make it to store had more than the guys that did. But that was the way of showing respect. That was a way of having some type of humility in all the madness. Whatever type of humility you can have. Or not humility, humanity that you can have within the SHU. There's going to be people that hear this and they're going to say, nah, that's bullshit. And that's fine. That tells me you weren't there. That tells me you did easy time. And that's why you have the type of thoughts that you have. I did the hardest time. I was in Pelican Bay SHU 4 different times. You know, so I don't say that to glorify anything. It was a bunch of stupidity, right? But anybody trying to tell me that certain groups couldn't talk to each other, I'm telling you, you're full of shit. And you were never around the heaviest of heavyweights. Because had you been, then you would understand the type of respect that's shown at that level. But it's all good, you know, to each their own. You know, we all see life through our personal experiences. Unfortunately, and also fortunately, I was able to see the belly of the beast, appreciate the brutality of it, and that allows you to want to become better, right? When you know how bad things can be, you also understand how good things could be. So I'll go ahead and bring this one to a close. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. I appreciate you. If you feel like this video should be seen by someone else, then make sure you share it, all right? But with that, be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, right? I'm out.